Alright guys, my name is Meta Goblin. Today is giving a quick commentary on the introduction of paid realm transfers on the classic WoW servers for your individual character. So just before we jump in guys, please give me a quick follow on Twitch. I do live stream mostly on Wednesdays. And anyways, so let's jump into the discussion. I've got a number of bullet points written down here. Writing with this hand is really crap, but just as well you don't have to see it. Anyway, so as we have discussed in actually my previous video, there are a number of issues at the moment with faction imbalancing and servers basically becoming very imbalanced and very unplayable to the point, you know, we've seen Flamelash, we've seen a situation there where the Alliance, well, basically what's happening is a faction's becoming so heavily imbalanced on a high populated realm that the faction that is in the minority is not allowed to transfer off the realm, obviously through the free character migration service, because that would obviously make the situation worse, and then you would end up with all servers ending up like Flamelash. What's happened now is that you can pay for your character. Obviously when you pay, it's a bit different. There's less people who are going to go and actually pay for it. But what's basically happened is Blizzard have made a problem. They've made a problem with releasing servers, and you know, these servers are becoming imbalanced, and then basically they've made a problem, and it's almost like a trap. They've made a problem, and they're basically giving you an option to fix the problem for yourself, but you have to pay $20. Well, sorry, it's £19. I'm guessing that's roughly like $25. That's quite a lot of money, really. I mean, you can buy entire video games for that amount of money. You know, I've only just spent a little bit more than that to get the Halo Master Chief Collection, which is like, what, 5-6 games all in one. So there's quite a lot of money to fix your problem. Overall, I just find the strategy a little bit roguish. A lot of companies these days do look to roguish tactics to kind of make money out of the consumer, out of the guy, you know, the gamers, us as the gamers, after they have, you know, bought the game. We used to live in an age where you'd buy a game, and that'd be it. You got your game, you play a game. Now we live in an age where video game developers want to continue to make money. They want to continue to have basically a larger amount of passive income after the game is released, rather than just having to develop games and keep releasing games. Makes sense if you want to make money, but for us, for the, you know, people who play the games, it's not particularly nice. So what should have really happened in this process is Blizzard should be paying, you know, people to come up with inventive strategies to fix the servers, and we should be paying people to work on fixing the server imbalance situations. I've already come up with a few ideas. The community has already like speculated on what could possibly happen. For instance, these very imbalanced servers, they could simply be totally shut down, where they're basically deleted, and then the people who are on those servers get a free migration to whatever server they want, so that the population kind of spreads between all the servers, and it probably would be a good idea for them to make some new servers to compensate for that fact, to re-diverse the population of these severely imbalanced servers. You know, and then like we also talked about separate queues for each faction to keep the servers balanced. You know, there's a number of ideas, there's a number of ways that they could do it. There's like an infinite, well, not an infinite amount of ways, but there's a number of different strategies they could employ to fix these server imbalances, rather than just offering, okay, pay £20 and your problem's fixed. It's kind of like, it's just very dodgy, and it's a very roguish tactic, and you know, it's just not very nice, and it's kind of the reason why I do just generally hate, just generally dislike Blizzard as a developer these days. Obviously they have been taken over by Activision, and ever since that happened, they've, as a company, have gone downhill. You know, same things happen with Bethesda and many other developers out there. They've become just very greedy with their, you know, their business tactics and their business models. And I just personally you know, I'm not particularly happy, or particularly, I mean, who honestly does like outright say these days that they like Blizzard? You know, we used to live in an age where people would say, I like Blizzard, I like the games they make, I like what they do, don't mind paying £10 a month for playing the game because the games are good. Now, not many people are honestly saying to themselves, I like Blizzard. Okay, it doesn't happen, really. Apart from like people who are just, I don't know, a bit, I wouldn't say delusional, that's a bit offensive, that'll probably give me some dislikes. People who are just a bit disillusioned by what is really happening and just how I'm trying really hard not to swear, but how they are basically, as you know, how gamers are just basically getting exploited these days for their money. And this is definitely a tactic which really does exploit us as the gamers. So anyway, what other bullet points do I have here? Yeah, like, so obviously employing somebody to come up with an inventive strategy, employing someone to actually fix the servers, it would cost Blizzard money. That's why they're not doing it. Companies are absolutely obsessed with making profits these days. You know, for instance, you should I recommend you to watch The Apprentice. You will learn a lot about business. It's quite interesting. And essentially, like, I remember there was this task on The Apprentice where someone was absolutely obsessed with reducing the running costs, like the cost to make an ice lolly, an ice pop. And what ended up is the product they made, because they made it so cheaply, ended up just being totally horrendous. It was crap, right? And that's generally what's happening in this situation. Like, they're basically cutting down their costs and their running costs and creating a crap product in a way, because, you know, we still have these server problems, we still have a lot of issues, and, you know, you're basically making a bad product because you're not spending a lot of money in the product. At the end of the day, sometimes you do actually have to spend a lot of money to make a product good, to make people want to actually buy your product and play your product in this case, you know, because we're talking about video games. So that's my finalised points on that. Moving on, I've got another bullet point here. What will happen in the foreseeable future, in my opinion? I would have to say that servers will definitely get worse, and they will likely get worse faster. Okay, because people do have the option to pay to swap servers now. The servers which have severe faction imbalances, for instance, a lot of PvP servers have alliance minorities right now. That would mean that those alliance minorities will probably get more severe, as people will get more and more frustrated and want to, switch on to a server. It might, at the end of the day, it might not be, to be fair, things might not get so bad, but there is a chance that some of the more, underpopulated alliance side servers are just going to, slowly diminish over time, over the course of the next 6 months. But, yeah, it is what it is, I think. Like, perhaps Phase 3 will keep people interested, and maybe people will be not that bothered about the server imbalances. Like, I'm on a pretty Horde-dominated server right now, and in all honesty, ever since the pay transfer service was introduced, I'm not seeing a massive difference, and I'm mostly seeing slight improvements. For instance, right now I'm in an Upper Blackrock Spire run, and during like Phase 2, an Upper Blackrock Spire was pretty much impossible and unseen because of the faction imbalances issues and everyone doing world PvP. But it seems like things are on the mend a little bit on my server, but the world chat is quiet, I'm not going to lie. Not many people doing stuff other than raid logging. So we'll have to see what happens. Like, I don't want to transfer server because obviously I'd rather not spend the £20, and I'm sure a lot of people in my server would rather not spend the £20. But like, if the situation gets to the point where the population is 20% Alliance, 80% Horde, then that is probably at the point where I would definitely consider a realm transfer, because that would probably, well, it would only get worse, and even at 20% it'd be pretty bad. I did see a meme on Classic WoW Reddit. Basically, it's like a meme of someone on Shazra looking at the imbalance that Shazra has currently, and kind of the meme was something like he was looking at what happened to Flamelash and pretending not to be worried. I can't remember precisely what the meme is, but like, I think a lot of people in Shazra, they're looking at what happened on Flamelash, and they're kind of worried about it happening to this server as well. So only time will tell. But I think Blizzard, they need to rock it up the backside. I'm not bothered by the fact that we have paid character transfers, in all honesty. Like, I've wanted them for a while, to be honest. But like, I've always wanted that option. But really, they should be working on actually fixing the problem without us having to spend money. It's their game, it's their product, and they should maintain a level of quality of their product by fixing the server in faction imbalance issues. And they should be doing that, because it's not exactly difficult, is it? Like, it's possible. It's a little bit of work, but like, you want your product to be good. You want people to not lose faith in your product. You don't want people to stop playing and quit your product. Right? So to me, it makes sense as a, if I was a business owner, I would want to, maintain a level of quality of my product. But it doesn't seem like Blizzard are that bothered about maintaining a, high quality product anymore. I don't know what it is. Maybe all of our efforts are mostly invested right now into Shadowlands, obviously, which they probably will need to do. And they're just relying relying on the classic WoW absolute devotion of the fans of classic WoW, because we're going to play it because we're absolutely addicted to this game and we love it. I think they're just basically banking in on that and relying on it, and they're pouring in the money to basically fund the development of Shadowlands, which doesn't make a lot of sense to me in honesty, because retail has done nothing but been going downhill since probably Cataclysm, well, the end of Cataclysm, and it doesn't make a lot of sense. They should really be investing into a product which is actually ridiculously successful for them. Classic WoW, in comparison, Classic WoW is extremely more successful than retail, and retail in its current state. To me, it makes sense to invest money, invest time, a little bit of development time into fixing the server and balance issues. At the end of the day, you don't have to recruit an entire team of landscape developers, model makers, quest designers, all this kind of thing to just fix a server faction imbalance issue. You could definitely fix all the issues of Classic WoW probably very cheaply, much cheaper than developing a new expansion anyway. But it is what it is. They have a lot of faith in retail somehow. I don't understand why. I guess it's just making them a lot of money, so that's where they are going to put their time and effort in, because at the end of the day, they're not really bothered about making good games, making a quality product anymore. They're really just in concern with profit margins, because these days game developers they are completely dictated and manipulated and practically owned by accountants, and the kind of people who love maximising profits and avoiding tax and stuff like that. So anyway, I think I've pretty much made my point. I don't think I've got anything to add to this commentary, so I'm going to finish. I'm actually up at Blackrock Spyroom right now. I'm going to finish recording, getting some background footage of the video, and pretty much call it a day, because it's Christmas. I need to do Christmas shopping and just spend a bit of time off with the family. And yeah, I'm actually getting my splint off tomorrow, guys, so I would expect more live streaming, because I'm actually able to live stream, possibly more uploads, and I'm generally just going to be probably playing the game a lot more, investing a little bit more time into it, and I'll probably be able to make just different kinds of content and better kinds of content. So look forward to that coming soon. I'm just so excited to get this splint off my hand. It's been 6 weeks. Still can't go to a gym, still can't work out or anything, but at the end of the day, it's going to be much better. The doctor, she said the most English thing that she could possibly say to me. She said, when you get your splint off, the heaviest thing you'll be able to carry is a pint, so you'll be happy about that, and I'll be very happy about that, because tomorrow I'm going to get a pint. Anyway, I'm gibbering on a tangent here. My name is Metagoblin. Until my next video, ciao.